Welcome to the YouTube Sports Network. This is the second part of the video I was trying to get to earlier. That video was about the list of players who I consider, when I was reluctant to say it, there are tiers to this. Tier 1, Tier 2. I was considering this Tier 1. And then I drew a line under 3 outfielders. Kyle Schwarber, Cody Bellinger, and Kyle Tucker. And now I feel like, and then writing this here with the underline, I'm like, yeah, maybe that's Tier 1. So it doesn't actually, so there are a lot more players that weren't considered in Tier 1, which lessens the disrespect because it really, in a way, gives praise to like the very few that are more, they maybe had more elite campaigns. And I don't like, actually, let me take that back. That word like star and superstar, elite. I don't know. Maybe that's getting thrown around a little bit too much recently. Maybe it's been misused or overused. Elite. I will say that, but maybe I'm elite. These guys are all elite in comparison to the regular to anybody else who plays the game or tries to play baseball. They are all elite. But as far as the players that had the top stats or done it more frequently or consistently, these guys have proven to be them. So I talked about these guys already, and I'm not going to get into it. So we're going to move into the Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham, all right, so baseball, November 18th is the deadline for players to accept or reject a qualifying offer. The qualifying offer is a 1-year, roughly $22 million contract. The Yankees extended one to Grisham. He accepted. You know, anytime a player accepts a qualifying offer, it's always a big shock. Oh my God. Oh, wow. One. There's been one this year. Like, you know, in years past, they'd say that. It'd be like a quote. Well, there was 4. There's been 4, and I was gonna remember, but I'd rather at the moment stay on the topic here. Grisham was one of the 4 to accept the qualifying offer, which isn't necessarily a bad move. I guess he figured, he's probably thinking, what is his current value, or what kind of contract really can I get? I mean, it's a 1 year I've done it. What I'm looking for, maybe I can get. I was gonna say I could see Grisham maybe signing getting for him, if it's not so much the money per season, it could be like a fair, respectable amount of annual salary, but for like a 5-year, 6-year deal, like a long-term deal. He would take the security. He would forfeit a couple dollars on shorter-term deals to get a longer-term, more secure, but good, respectable dollar figure. But I guess he figured maybe he wasn't there. I mean, he at this moment, though, you know, you have a deadline to accept it. He did. What? Not a bad move. Does put pressure on him, but it's also, if he can do what he did last year, he's in a good spot. And I mean, last year he hit 34 homers. That's a career high. His previous career high was 17. So he doubled that total. You know, Yankee Stadium, what they can do there, you know, especially the lefties they talk about. Well, 34 in his first shot. Well, excuse me. He was there in 2024, but he only played in, I have it here written somewhere. He didn't play many games. I have it here somewhere. 76 games, and he had a 190 batting average. So he didn't hit too hot there. He had a 235 batting average with the Yankees. 82 walks, which was the most in any season. 235 average is the most since 2021, so 5 seasons ago, when he had a 242 average with the Padres. You know, he's his batting line, I'm giving you the stats, but his batting line was 235 batting average, 348 on base, 464 slugging. His career batting line, Grisham, 218, 321, and 400 slugging. So he increased his slugging percentage by 64 points in a starting role, mostly every day starting role with the Yankees. So he accepted a qualifying offer. So we'll move on to Bader, but that's not a bad move by Grisham on his end. And the Yankees, I mean, they kind of they say it doesn't strap them a little bit, but you're gonna go into the season with the same what's gonna change? I mean, you want to pursue Bellinger, so you're gonna get Bellinger. So same team, right? What else is gonna move? Grisham's there. I'm not Grisham. Chisholm Jr. I mean, you're gonna get a first baseman. You gotta get a first baseman. Then you absolutely you want a big splash. I guess I said in another video. Sign Bellinger your first base and make Tucker your outfielder, or sign get a first baseman and get Bellinger back. Get Alonso, whatever they gotta do. Point is, I'm gonna move on to Bader. Before I move on, I gotta say this one stat because this is mind blowing to me. Grisham hit 9 doubles last year. 9th. Yeah, I mean 9. 9 doubles he hit. All right, that blew my mind. I have another stat. 9 doubles. 9 doubles ranked 312th in the major leagues. 9 doubles by Grisham, 312th. But his homers ranked tied for 15th. So that's pretty odd to be in that two different two categories in that wide of placing, I guess. And his batting average in 2024 was 190, 2023 was 198, and 2022 was 184 for Grisham. So really, he's got a guy that doesn't have a track record, especially recently, of a batting average that is respectable to go along with power numbers that now blossom, but they weren't at that rate. So he was always he would be considered an elite center fielder. He's essentially like a football player, like a running back, like a real strong athlete that's playing baseball. Happens to be amazing at baseball, but this guy, I bet you, is a great football player. He runs like a running back. He runs like a football player in the outfield, gracefully but strong, nice strides, strong strides. But this guy is a great athlete, and maybe he's reaching his potential. Maybe he fits perfectly into Yankee Stadium. This is why certainly going to be such a player to watch next year, without question, obviously, but such a player to watch. Harrison Bader, 9 seasons. He's 31 years old. He basically had the best season of his career last year in split duty. Is what I have 96 games in Minnesota, 50 games with the Phillies. So he started his career with the Cardinals, 5.5 seasons. Went to the Yankees for 2.5 seasons. Then went to the Reds. The Yankees, traded him there. Went to the Mets 2024 last year, and then wound up here. But he had the best OPS last year as being a major league. You know what it is? I'm all stumbling here because I got so much information in front of me. There's no rehearsal. I just go right into it with you guys. But, point is, let me slow it down so I can give you the information correctly. Last year, he batted .277, 17 homers, 54 RBIs, had a .449 slugging, 347 on base, and a 117 OPS plus. That was his best OPS plus. He was I always say basically, he was about 17 points better than the average baseball player, if the average baseball player has a rating of 100, which is right dead in the middle, I guess, how we see it. So, I'm thinking, it's just a guy that's a product of maybe smaller field. I mean, Citi Field's not the biggest field. I mean, he didn't quite hit for power there, but he's better suited for a ballpark like Minnesota or Philadelphia, where the ballpark isn't the best, but they're known to be good hitters ballparks. I mean, not everybody can be Aaron Judge, where you can make a major league ballpark, no matter what it is, look like a little league ballpark to some people. What I'm saying is that doesn't matter what ballpark you win, you get a hold of it, you get a hold of it. Some guys, although you get a hold of it, you get a hold of it, but strength is strength, and there's different levels to it. But he thrived in the environment of Minnesota and Philadelphia, and he declined. So to his contract is he played on a 1 year, $6.25 million contract for 2025. He agreed to with the Twins, but then he had a $10 million mutual option that he declined because he felt that $10 million is actually what I deserve a higher raise than $10 million from 6.25, considering the career season I just had in many aspects, and with the bat. And also, I played on a $10 million contract in 2024 with the Mets 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago. So I'm thinking I gotta at least get that. If not, or if I want that, I need to guarantee myself more years. Bader, I think, is looking for at least a 2 year deal. I think Bader, the Bader, you're looking at him. I think he's looking for at least a 2 year, maybe $10 million per year. He wants to guarantee himself another year, and I think that that's why he declined the 1 year option. I'm not playing a 1 year deal. The year I just had, I think I can get myself a better, or at least another year on with the same amount of money earned, $10 million that I might be getting, which is a raise. I want to get myself more years. So maybe he declined and he wants a 2 year. I say he gets at least a 2 year. You get him for a 3, good for him and good for team. Hopefully it works out. I see him getting a 2. Mike Yastrzemski, that's my guy. I've been trying to get this guy traded for a while. I probably said this, what I'm saying right now, in another video. But he doesn't have a lot, really, if you think about it. He doesn't have too much time in the majors. Like, he's 35, but he's 35 years old, but he's played 7 seasons. But when he first came up, 2019, I have it here, he came up as 28 years old. He spent a good amount of time in the minors, with the Orioles system. Some say he should have been up. I didn't really follow that, but I remember hearing about it when he came up, and he played, I believe, the Yankees. They were talking about his backstory, how he was an Orioles prospect and was Orioles minor leaguer for a long time. Never got the call up. First year, 2019, 20 years old, 107 games. He bats .272. He hits 21 home runs. He drives in 55, and he slugs .518. That's a great way to start your career. I mean, he's the grandson of Carl Yastrzemski, the great Boston Red Sox and Major League Hall of Famer, MLB Hall of Famer. He's the grandson. In fact, they said that his grandfather raised Mike Yastrzemski, or spent a lot of time with him in his youth and even into his high school and college days, from what I understand. So this guy's a great baseball player. Apparently great, you could see it. Not hard nosed, but like hard worker, serious ball player. Like I like the guys who are quiet, the athletes who are quiet and just like go about their business. And he's underrated to me. And his by the numbers, he has a .447 career slugging percentage in his career. To me, that is highly underrated. He got traded after spending 6.5 seasons with the Giants. He got traded to the Royals at the deadline, and he did something that people don't usually do. They hit in a Kansas City Royals uniform while playing the outfield. I mentioned that in another video too. He slugged .500. He had 9 homers, 18 RBIs. He had more walks than strikeouts. He had 25 walks, 22 strikeouts, 30 runs scored in 50 games. Slugged 550 games in 50 games with the Royals last season. This guy, I'm telling you, he's got, like, at 35, there are still years ahead of him. 7 seasons. This guy's is not slowing down. I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to slow down. He works hard. His game is just he has grace. He has power and he has grace to his game. And I think that he would do really well on his next deal, or his next, whoever signs him next. By the numbers, .211 career versus lefty. So he's not really that guy. Lefty is going to hit you like maybe Schwarber or Bellinger or Tucker will, right? That's why I guess you could say there are tiers to this in that sense. Yastrzemski's not going to really crush lefties like that. If he did, his numbers, he'd get more playing time. He'd probably have more like higher home run and RBI totals, but when he plays, he still puts together good numbers. So 211 versus lefties, but 246 versus righties. And on average, if he played 162 games, I'll look at. You can look at season averages, and you can look at based off how many games they played, what their season averages can be, or you can look at their based off their numbers. What would it be over 162 games played? A lot of these guys aren't playing the full season, but a lot of them do. His averages, if he played 162, would be 31 doubles, 24 home runs, 84 runs scored, and 63 walks on average. So good on base percentage he'd have. He'd have a good slugging percentage, so a good OPS. He'd be a bit better than average baseball player. That's how I would see it. I think that's how it would amount into OPS plus. And he's also had 7 straight double-digit home run totals. So since he's come into the league, he's had 7 straight double-digit home run totals. So when it comes to Yastrzemski, it really just comes down to like, is he going to get a full workload? But if he doesn't really hit the lefties so much, maybe this is his workload. But wherever team he goes to, he's going to produce, I believe. And he has shown that he does produce. 447 career slugging, you can't overlook. 123 career home runs is his total. Ryan O'Hearn. Oh, so how many years maybe for Yastrzemski? I think another guy kind of similar to Bader. He's looking for a little bit more security. I think he'll take anything 3 years plus for sure. Because, to get to 38 and guarantee himself a contract at a fair amount, I think he'd take. I think that would be nice if a team. I say nice like, oh, that'd be nice. No, I mean like, I think that'd be a solid pickup. I think he can build off what he did with the Royals last season at the tail end, and I think that this guy really is due for a change of scenery. Was due for a change of scenery, which is if I was his agent, I'm happy he went to where he went. Good for the Royals. Good for his agent. Most importantly, good for him. And what I'm saying is, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I'm really doing this. I'm really going on a rant about it. I'm watching myself doing it from another angle. I'm like, oh my God, I'm really like, it's almost like you're public speaking. You realize you're public speaking. Like, holy crap, there might be an audience behind me. It's crazy. And then you start to lose train of thought. Like, oh my God, time's just going. 17 minutes and 54 seconds, I swear. The minute I looked at it, I was like, didn't I say that last time, 17:54? All right, so yeah, good player. Let's see where he goes. I think 3 years. I'll try to select teams for these guys, but I'm just giving the breakdown. What am I doing this for? Giving the breakdown of what these guys are doing here. I guess, what are we doing here, guys? This is the tier, and that's their breakdown of who they are. Okay, Ryan O'Hearn, 32 years old, 8 seasons. Right? Kind of like, wow, 32 years old, 8 seasons? That's a lot. Kind of, you don't think about that. He's been in the league for 8 years, yeah. I think he was Ryan Dozier, right? Do we remember him on the Royals? I think he was Ryan Dozier, Ryan O'Hearn, or is it Brian Dozier, Ryan O'Hearn? But first base, third base thing going on, outfielders, right? The Royals are trying to bring up these younger guys. Didn't quite pan out. He didn't do very well at all. I don't believe I have the numbers here with the Royals. I just have what he signed with the Royals for in 2023. Or signed with the Royals, yeah. But not too good with the Royals. He played for like 4 or 5 seasons, but not too good. Signed for $1.4 million in 2023, or basically for the 2023 season. So end of 2022. In fact, November 15th, 2022. I wrote that here. So not too long ago. 3 years ago, almost to the day. But 1.4, and then they wind up designating him for assignment, right? We talked about this earlier. The term designated for assignment, about December 28th, 2022. So within a week, he was traded to Baltimore, January 3rd, 2023. So he played under that contract, $1.4 million. Did pretty well. I don't have the numbers here for the Orioles too, but I'll give you his stat line recently. Uh, but he signed for one. Then he signed for 3.5 million plus an $8 million club option for 2025. So for 2024, after playing for 1.4, this happens a lot. He's like double your salary then a little bit, especially if it's low. 1 year 1.4 becomes 1 year 3.5 after the first year with Baltimore with a club option for 8 million. Has a good season. Does he make? No, he didn't. He made the All-Star team in 2025. So just recently, the club option, they exercise it. He plays in 2025, then gets traded to the Padres. With the Padres, he plays in not too many games. 50 games with the Padres. He batted 276, not bad. 350 on base percentage, not bad. 387 slugging. Now, it's not really easy for lefties to slug home runs there, unless you're like Adrian Gonzalez, right? It's not very easy to hit home. I feel like you don't see a lot of. You don't see, I feel like, too many lefties slug home runs there. I mean, doesn't feel like it. I mean, Soto was there a couple seasons, but it feels like you don't see too many lefties. I could be wrong. But 4 homers, 20 RBIs. And he's played first base 75 games, DH 50 games, and he played outfield 23 games. So he's similar to Bellinger. I don't want to say poor man's Bellinger. That's rude. But he plays first base and he plays outfield, but doesn't play center field like him. He doesn't play center field like him. He doesn't play outfield like him as well. I'm probably going to see more right field, first base, DH, but still a good player. A guy that was emerging and, 32, 8 seasons, but still was coming on. Definitely worth. I want to know, he's a wild card. He's a wild card as far as, I didn't think a lot about what his deal may be, but he's a wild card in the sense where, he can go to a lot of teams. A lot of teams could probably afford him, and a lot of teams could probably use him. So he's a wild card. He'll definitely be coveted. And let's see who winds up with him. Austin Hayes. I put him here, man. I think he deserves to be here. Again, more so here than maybe here. Here because even though my boy Tommy Pham, it's going to be hard for him to get coveted. So I can't put him on that list. My guy, though. Austin Hayes, what do I got for him? 8 seasons. He's 30 years old. 8 seasons. So he came in and he played young. He's one of those Orioles prospects, graduated to the majors, and did fairly well. He was one of the, I think, before the turnaround, right? In between the good Orioles teams, down Orioles teams, up Orioles teams, right? Maybe he's like in between there, the transition. Kind of got a taste of both. But for his career, he has a .993 fielding percentage. He's an athletic baseball player. He's like, I think if he wasn't a baseball player, he'd be a fireman. He kind of has that look. If he wasn't a baseball player, Austin Hayes would be a fireman. He probably has some firemen in his family or something. Something about the guy. He's got that. Maybe he could even be from New Jersey. He kind of has that look. I looked it up. He's not from New Jersey, I'm pretty sure. But he has that look. Like he knows he can fit in any crowd. He's a good athletic baseball player. 2023 All-Star. So, and he has 4 seasons with at least 60 RBIs. He has, which is good, which is pretty fair. I think it's pretty good. 4 seasons, so he's got opportunities to play. He has home run totals over. All right, let's see, 22. Like I'm just figuring this information out, but it feels like it. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to get everything out. His home run totals. He had 15 last 2025. He had 16 in 2023, 16 in 2022, and 22 in 2021. Yeah, so last season with the Reds, 103 games, 15 homers, 64 RBIs, 266 batting average, and I believe that's a 453 slugging. So he does rate out in his career. He's a 262 hitter, and for his career, he's a 10. We're going to mention this, a 106 plus, a 106 OPS plus. So to me, again, if that never means anything to you guys, it means something to me. In this aspect, it proves to you like a relatively unknown name. Austin Hayes is better than the average player. if you want to go based off that metric or by that stat. 106 is considered technically better than the average player. And 30 years old, and I think this guy can, if he has to stay healthy, but he can contribute offensively and defensively. So 25 when I looked at that. That was crazy. All right, I'll cover these guys. I think that means I gotta go. I'm coughing up over here. Grisham, Bader, Yastrzemski, O'Hearn, and Hayes. We got two. This is the outfielders 5 through 8 we've just talked about. All right, so we talked about Schwarber, Bellinger, Tucker in 2 videos ago, and this one we got to Grisham, Bader, Yastrzemski, O'Hearn, Hayes. Before I go, I just want to say this: does the wheel ever land on, lose a turn, or bankrupt on the final spin for Wheel of Fortune? I just caught a glimpse. I just turned it on for a moment because I was thinking about my grandmother. I gotta call her, and I was thinking, let me tune into Wheel of Fortune, and I was like 14 minutes left in the show. Got to the end, final spin, and it landed. It got close. You know what it is? It got close to lose a turn, but it landed on like 500 or whatever number it was. And I'm like, you know what? They never go final spin, and it lands. Oh no, respin, landed on bankrupt. Landed on a loser turn. No, it always lands, it seems, on a number. It's like the final moment. It's like the final spin. It always lands on a number. So that makes me believe that wheel is really rigged. Because if you're during the game, it always seems to land on a loser turn, bankrupt, especially in the most crucial moments. But every single time, end of the game, final spin, never have to redo it. Just saying. Anybody wants to sign a petition? I'm not saying I'm the one who led it, but I'm just thinking about it. Just saying. And it was so weird. Then I have YouTube. Every now and then today especially, I was tuning into putting the music on, pausing it when I have to write something down, or whatever I gotta do, pause it. I'm playing it, right? And this continuous music. And then what comes on after I wrote this down? And I think after I wrote this down, actually, what came on? Between the Wheels by Rush at 8:11 p.m. So I'm playing Rush on YouTube, a mix. And Between the Wheels came on after I had wrote Wheel of Fortune. Hey, man. It's not me, it's the universe. It's not me, it's the universe. I'm just saying. It's not me, it's the universe. I think that was one of the sayings I couldn't remember. It's not me, it's the universe. All right. Thank you for listening to the YouTube Sports Network. I always said this is a little bit unorthodox. This isn't quite the way you're going to get it anywhere else, probably. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm not trying to do anything but what I'm doing right now in front of you. I'm just trying to get the information out. Really, all I'm trying to do is get this information out. If it comes out the way it comes out, it's the way it comes out. You see some other videos out there. I would like to start to learn how to edit this stuff and give you guys maybe more engaging videos. But as far as this is concerned, this is just the discussion in front of a whiteboard. And I like this visual. I think it's cool. Welcome to the YouTube Sports Network. Thank you for listening. If you want to like, share, comment, I always advise to do it urgently, because if you don't do it first, you probably won't do it ever, because I think it just disappears after like 10 minutes. Now, I don't know how what the numbers are. Anyway, thanks for listening. I always say, and if you did, I really appreciate it. Take care.